at this time, I'm going to ask you to make arrangements to come turn yourself into the Grand Traverse County Jail. I am going to ask that you turn yourself in by 7 p.m. tonight.
I can't. I'm sorry. I don't even have a license. I can't. I have a job. I got bills.
Followed through. So, Mr. Graff.
You should absolutely never violate your probation. This guy got caught missing his required check-ins, and now he's back in court being ordered to turn himself in. And as you probably noticed from the intro, things go downhill fast. The judge completely shocks him with the decision, and his reaction turns into one of the most uncomfortable courtroom blow-ups I've seen recently. He starts off pretty calm, almost too calm, like he still believes he can talk his way out of it. Then suddenly, everything blows up. Tell me in the comments whether you think this guy is mentally alright, because by the end of the clip I genuinely couldn't figure out what reality he thought he was in. Anyway, let's jump in and watch this go from zero to total courtroom chaos.
I see that you're on my docket, but I don't have any paperwork for you, and it's my understanding that you have a Grand Traverse case.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do is ask the probation department to kindly set this for a probation violation arraignment. I guess.
With my understanding, I had thought my attorney, Jake Graff, I don't know if he's in right now, but he had said that sometimes you do cases for Grand Traverse.
He is here. Let me pull him in. I think that this was potentially an error, but I don't know. I didn't receive notice of.
And I know he struggled to receive notice from the courts about anything in my case, so they weren't being very cooperative for the longest time, even to him.
Good morning, Mr. Graff. Can you hear me?
Good morning. Yes.
So I was just telling Mr. Bunt that I wasn't expecting to see a Grand Traverse case. We could move forward with the let's see here. Would you like to proceed, Mr. Graff, with the probation violation arraignment this morning?
That would be fine if the court would allow it. I think it sounds like there was some confusion. Mr. Bunt received a notice for 11 o'clock today. And so we're ready to be arraigned and set this for a hearing at a later date if the court would be obliged.
Okay. Yes. Let's see. And Mr. Graff, so let me go ahead and call the case. It's case 21-5281 FY1. And we have Jacob Bunt present via Zoom with his attorney, Mr. Graff. We're here for a probation violation arraignment. And Mr. Graff, how would your client like to proceed with this?
Good morning, Your Honor. He'd enter a not guilty plea, ask the court to set this for a hearing at a later date. And then we'd also like to, address bond.
Okay, very good. All right. So I will ask the probation department to schedule the hearing with Judge Cooney. It looks like there is an active bench warrant currently. And Mr. Graff, what would you like to say about bond?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, obviously late, after hours yesterday, we finally received the probation violation information on this case. And so we've had very little time to obviously prepare, not knowing specifically what all the allegations were. If the court would look at the notice, it talks about a positive PBT on April 22nd, which I don't think is applicable to Mr. Bunt. And so obviously going into today, until we received that information last night, we were going in somewhat blind. We do have that information. We do have information we'd like to present on his behalf. I guess the one thing is he retained my services. I reached out to try to take care of the warrant. Somehow this got set for hearing as opposed to having him turn himself in. So he has taken a proactive approach and trying to get things under control and get things resolved here. I know that the recommendations asked for him to be remanded pending the hearing. But given that the fact that one, he's taken the initiative to get this ball rolling. Two, as far as I know, there are no new criminal charges. Three, he's appearing today knowing what these recommendations are and that the court could place him in jail pending a hearing. But also, more importantly, there's a lot of information that we have to present at the time of his hearing regarding what he's accomplished over the last couple of years. I think there may be more information Mr. Bunt would want to get to me now that we know specifically what the allegations are so that we can present a full defense when that time comes. As far as I know, as the court will see from the notice, he resides in Lapeer. He's got a job he just enrolled in college. And there are a number of other things that obviously we'd be presenting on his behalf about the services that he has participated and completed. Lastly, I was informed this morning that Mr. Bunt has paid off all his fines and costs. And so this has not been, I guess, a complete failure as may be alleged on the information that's been presented to the court. I understand today is not the day for the hearing, but I certainly want the court to have a little bit better idea of how Mr. Bunt presents as in regards to obviously the information they may have had coming into this. And so for those reasons, Your Honor, I would ask the court to consider allowing him to remain out on bond. Obviously, he'll know that he'll have to travel to Traverse City for that hearing and appear in person for it. And it could result in more troubles for him if he doesn't. But I think the fact that he's taken the initiative to get this moving is a step in the right direction and speaks to obviously how much he wants to resolve this and will do so.
Wow, that was actually a pretty solid argument from his attorney. I'm not sure whether he's public or private counsel, but I'm going to assume he's a public defender. Regardless, he showed up prepared with all the evidence. Meanwhile, this guy is just sitting there on Zoom looking like he accidentally clicked into the wrong call and can't decide whether to mute himself or start crying. Seriously, how do you violate probation, fail a breath test, and then act like you're the one who's confused? That expression he's got in the upper right corner isn't innocence, it's more like, please don't look up my record. And just so you know, blowing a failed PBT while on probation isn't a minor issue. It can land you in a violation hearing fast, and things can escalate very quickly. So the judge listened to what the lawyer had to say. Now we get to find out if that anxious silence is enough to help him avoid getting booked.
Thank you, Mr. Graff. All right, so let me just verify your mailing address, Mr. Bunt.
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. And we will have the probation department schedule this for an in-person hearing that will take place at the courthouse in Grand Traverse County. This is an unusual case. This is a pretty serious, the underlying charges with this, and I'm not unsympathetic for what Mr. Graff is saying. It sounds like you've been actively working on sobriety and improving yourself, but I don't have any verification of any of that having taken place. I don't think it would have been outside the realm of your recovery to contact probation. You did.
I know.
Hold on just a minute. Mr. Bunt, it's not your turn to talk. Hold on, please. You've been just kind of hanging out there. No one has had any idea of what you're doing, what you have been doing, the things you've accomplished. And I guess I'm not understanding why you didn't simply reach out. We have tools and resources here. You had every opportunity for, it looks like, a couple of years to just try to reach out and catch up before it came to this crossroads here. So with that being said, let's see. At some point, did you say you were going to turn yourself in?
Yes, I was going to be turning myself in after my graduation. One of the things on probation was to get my GED, and I did accomplish that. Jake Graff has a photocopy of my diploma. I will be walking and getting a cap and gown. I am already enrolled in the MOT. I went through some mental health issues and am still actively getting help from CMH. I have a signed waiver of release information for the courts. I've been working. I know there is no proof of me showing my recovery, and I know it probably doesn't look good on you guys, but I did improve myself, and I take full responsibility for my wrongdoings in the past. And I don't want to just have my freedom like you get when you get out of jail. I don't just want freedoms. I want to be successful. I want to do the things everyone tells you should do and you can do. And, I want to I'm going into college to get associates in business. I want to be an entrepreneur and follow in my father's footsteps.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Bunt. And I do appreciate.
Usually on this channel we make fun of the human train wrecks who treat the courtroom like it's an open mic night, but I actually appreciate hearing things like this from people who've completely hit the bottom and are trying to drag themselves back up. There's just something respectable about a guy admitting what he did wrong without blaming the stars, his upbringing, or his childhood pet. But tell me if this rings a bell. Every time someone's staring down jail time, suddenly they've discovered God, found inner calm, and mapped out a 5-year life overhaul. When the consequences are that big, it's almost impossible to tell what's genuine. Judges can take signs of rehabilitation into account when deciding a sentence, but there isn't some official checklist for it. It's basically instinct wearing judicial robes. And believe me, they've watched every possible performance, phony crying, dramatic jailhouse poems, even dudes quoting Dr. Phil like holy scripture. So drop a comment. Do you think this guy actually turned things around, or is he just putting on the strongest act he's ever delivered?
I want you to look at this as a setback in your recovery. I want you to look at this as moving forward and getting closure with this, okay? And that's just going to help you and build a strong foundation for continuing to move forward down there in Lapeer. So at this time, I'm going to ask you to make arrangements to come turn yourself into the Grand Traverse County Jail. The probation department will set this for a hearing. I would ask them to set it for the fastest, soonest possible date so that we can get this thing expedited.
The officer wants me to sit a year. I'm not going to go to college. I get out of jail when I'm 26. It takes me 4 years to get a degree. By the time I have money, I'm going to be old as
Mr.
fuck.
Bunt, please stop. I want you to continue moving forward. I can't look at the facts of the past and just allow this to continue on this way. So I am going to ask that you turn yourself in by 7 p.m. tonight.
I don't even have a license. I can't get up there that fast. I have a job. I got bills. I got to drop out of college. No, I won't be able to get my walk. I will everything I worked hard
Mr.
for. I
Bunt,
won't be able to do.
I'm going to have to mute you. I've muted you. I want you to know that this is a first step in getting closure for this case. And you had every opportunity to make a step forward. And I appreciate that you did contact the court, but you haven't followed through. So, Mr. Graff, would you want a brief breakout room with your client?
Sure, that'd be fine. I don't want to hold up the court's time. I can call them after court as well.
Okay. I'm not sure if it would be easier for you to try to talk to him right now, or if you'd just rather end this for now and give him a call.
I'll give him a call here, and I don't want to use up the court's time. Mr. Bond, just so you know, you didn't get a year in jail today. You're being remanded pending your hearing, which will come up pretty soon. I understand you're disappointed, but you're not getting the year as they recommended as of right now, okay? But I'll give you a call.
Thank you, Mr. Graff.
What an exit. And like his attorney mentioned, this guy isn't even facing a full year behind bars yet. He still has an entire hearing coming up, which means this meltdown might have just been the preview for the real disaster that's on the way. And judging by the expression on his lawyer's face, I'm pretty sure he's already prepping a resignation email or searching how to gracefully back out of court-appointed cases. I mean, I understand being frustrated, but yelling like you're leaving a rage-filled restaurant review definitely doesn't improve your chances. Tell me what you all think. Was the judge